Hi everybody, Old Iron Will here. Just going to show you some of the work I'm going to do today. Working on this old 3 horsepower olds that I've been showing you folks that I've been working on for a while. So got some machine work I'm going to work on today in the next little bit. So that's where I take you along today. So one of the things I need to do is got the horn from the fuel mixer here, and unfortunately there's some damage and I've lost the threads on the inside there for the needle valve to go into. Need to fix this end up. I'll show you it a little closer once I'm on the bench and stuff like that. Need to work on building this, I call it a needle seat nut where the needle valve and everything goes into. I don't have any 7/16 brass, so I do have a piece of 3/4 inch brass. I'm gonna have to turn down a piece and machine something similar to this. This is the one that came off the reproduction mixer I had that Lee Anderson machined for me years and years ago. So, and then I also need to make myself the needle valve. So again, not sure what we'll get all done today. It's pretty cold out today. It was minus 30 degrees Celsius this morning when I got up. So I figured it was a good day to come in here and work instead of going out to the main shop. So this is where I have my lathe and the milling machine and a few other pieces and stuff like that. And so yeah, I thought it would be a good day to do that. Minus 30 is pretty cold, right? So it takes a little while to heat the shop up. So minus 30, I think, is about minus 22 Fahrenheit. So pretty chilly, coldest day so far this year. We'll definitely see colder ones yet. But let's, I'm going to show these to you a little closer and then we'll get at it. So here's the fuel horn from the 3 horsepower olds mixer. This is the damage that I think I obviously caused. I didn't realize that the needle seat that threaded in there was reverse thread. I forgot about that on one that I worked on years and years ago that Lee Anderson did up for me. So pretty sure I caused that crack. Piece didn't break out, but it's obviously cracked. I just put the clamp on there to make sure I didn't lose anything. So I think what I'm going to do here, been thinking about it for a little bit. I'm going to try and put a helicoil in there and see if I can make that work. I know it won't be a reverse thread, but I don't think it matters. So just as long as I machine the needle seat to match along. And then when we look at the other side here too, where the needle would thread in, you can definitely see on the inside there that the threads are all gone. So thought is too, I'll maybe try another helicoil in there. If that doesn't work, I do have another idea but I think it's a little bit more of a bigger job to do, where maybe I just machine everything out and put a whole insert in there and replace all that. But just not really sure what I'm going to get into with this. I think it is some sort of a pot metal. I think that's why it was kind of a little bit fragile. There's definitely no magnetism to it at all. So that's my plan today. Is this the first piece I'm going to work on and try and see how we can get this done. So we got her lined up, everything set. Let's see if I can drill this out a little bit, see what's going to happen. Well, I got that drilled out to the right depth. Just gonna tap it now for some threads. for the helicoil. There we go, guys. There's the helicoil installed for the needle seat part. Seems to have gone pretty good. So now we're going to work on getting this side done. So I figure out how I'm going to clamp that up. Again, as you can see, things weren't centered when they were bored through, so that's why it looks a little funny on the other side, but hopefully that stays in focus. So guys, I need to turn this piece of brass round rod down to make that down to 7/16 is what I need to turn it down to. Yeah, so like I said, all I have is a piece of 3/4, or I have a piece of 3/8, which is just a hair too small, unfortunately. So we're going to do a little work on the lathe today. Well, we got her turned down, so one part of it's done. So we'll put in a parting blade and cut that off and kind of figure out where we're going to go next. Parting is always I think my least favorite thing to do. Like I say, I'm definitely no machinist, I'm just a hobbyist. And getting there. And still fell on the floor. Try and hold these so you can see them, but down to size and to length. So I got it set up, got the gearbox set for 14 threads per inch for 7/16. So blued off, I've already cut a bit of a recess cut in there, so we'll see how it's going to go here. I like taking light cuts. It's not a big lathe by any means, so no sense trying to overwork it if I don't have to. Take one more light pass. Not bad. So I gotta drill this out 1.25 inches. Here's a 1/2 inch. It's 1 inch, or 3/4 of an inch, I mean. I said 1.25 inches. It's actually 2.25 inches. I was thinking that was awful shallow. So there's 1.5 inches. I have to adjust my, I can't drill 2 1/4 with this, so I have to. Getting awful close now. That should have that portion of it. So, like I said, I just need to trim a shoulder down on here to about 17/64. So that's what I'm calling is a shoulder anyways. So Here's the pieces put into the shoehorn. Into the horn, I should call it, not a shoehorn, but you know what I meant. The horn of the fuel mixer here. Got to do a little work, like I say, this kind of cracked on me. There is a crack here with this pot metal and stuff like that as well. Pretty sure I can address that with some epoxy and rethreading it and chasing it and everything like that. Same with this side here. I was thinking about making a collar to go over top, but I think I'm going to try epoxy first. Just see. I think with I did lock tight in those helicoils, so that should be good that way. So like I say, I can breathe through it there. If I turn it off, can't put any air through there. So I think we got to work in that part of it. As long as I can address these other two issues, we're making some headway. Well guys, I think that about wraps it up for today's video. I did get the pieces made. They're very, very similar. More than workable. Like I say, I had to do a little bit of it right-handed thread for that shoehorn that I'm using here. So didn't get around the opportunity to look, see if I can get a needle valve made today or not. I need to look, see if I even have the material to do it or not in that diameter. So that's probably the next project though, when it comes to lathe work here. You know, it does seem to work. I put in there, I can't breathe through. Pull it out a little, can do that. They both work the same. The other one that I was kind of copying, so I think that's about got her. So not sure how well you guys can see that or not, but the ends are fairly, you know, for what my machining skills, I think I got her pretty close. So yeah, I guess the next way to tell if it's going to work is when you get it put on the engine, right? So, but one little tedious job done today. Thanks everybody. Bye for now.